we need to install Better-Auth. So first, we're going to go into installation here. We're going to see that there are various different options to use different package managers. I'm going to be using npm for this project again. So we are going to copy this command here. You can select over it and copy it if you prefer to do that. We're going to go into our IDE here where our project is residing. We're going to paste in npm install Better-Auth here. So we appear to have a dependency issue. This is from React 19. And once we've installed Shadcn, this type of error is going to pop up over and over and over again. All that you have to do to fix it, as it says here, we can either fix it, which we personally can't, or we can just retry the command with -- force. I personally have had 0 problems with this. There might be a corner case in which it becomes an issue, but for 99.999% of circumstances, you're not going to see a problem. So for the future, remember to use -- force here if you're using it in conjunction with Shadcn, like we are in this tutorial. Cool. So we have it installed. The next step is we need to set our environment variables. So it says here to create .environment. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a new file and do .environment. And then inside of here, we need to first generate a secret key here and then use it in our project. And we can do that by pasting it all into .environment. For a lot of these environment variables, I'd recommend copy and pasting it in, not typing it in or trying to transcribe it. If you make a mistake in transcribing your secret key and you use it within your code base, unlike syntax errors, which might be highlighted, any error between or mismatch between an environment variable and how you call it and use it inside of your project, you're not going to detect it. And then there's going to be a lot of connection issue errors that pop up that you're going to think are related to your code, but nope, it's actually because of your environment variables. So I'm definitely going to recommend that you use some form of copy in order to transcribe your environment variables as opposed to directly typing each one of them in. In the next step, we need to set our base URL. Since we're currently in development and not in production, our URL is going to be localhost 3000. When we actually deploy our production app, this .environment is not going to be carried on. It's not going to be uploaded onto GitHub. And so in the new environment variables that we provide, we need to provide whatever final URL, either the one provided by our hosting service or a custom domain that we have purchased. Okay, so we need to copy this and put it into our environment variables here. Easy. Next step, we need to create a Better-Auth instance inside of our project. And they provide a bunch of different potential locations where we can put this auth.ts, the project root, library folder, or utils. Personally, in my opinion, since this is a external library, I'm going to be putting it into the library folder. I used to put it in my project root, similar to how I used to do it with Next.js. But for Better-Auth, since it's all in one file, I think it would make more sense and look a little bit easier if I put it in the lib folder. So what we can do is just copy this auth.ts. As you can see here, there's an ellipsis here. There's going to be a lot more code that we're going to be putting in it. But for right now, we just need to get this starter piece of code. So let's copy this. Shifting over to the IDE, we have our library folder here. We're going to create a new file, auth.ts, and we're going to paste in that starter code that they gave us. In order to do authorization, we need to store user data. When someone logs in, we need to store that new account that is being created. And to do that, we need to have a database. We're going to configure the database in a second because I want to wrap up all the things related to auth first. So we're going to skip this step for now. We'll come back to it in a second. What we can do in the meanwhile is to set up our various authorization methods. I personally believe that for beginners, you shouldn't be dealing with email password for yourself. There's a lot of messiness there that new developers shouldn't really handle. I think it would be a lot better to use trusted providers like GitHub and Google for authentication. So let's start with GitHub here, as they have it listed here. You can find all of the different social media sign-on accounts that you can use. We're going to be focusing on GitHub and Google because those are generally, for developers and for regular people, the most popular options.